Welcome into the LL Sports Update Show. He is Jeff Reinhart. I'm John Walk. We're going to start off by talking Week 8 in high school football. And Jeff, what a big week it is to start us off. The LNP Game of the Week. We've been waiting for this all season. Wilson going to Manheim Township. Tell us about it.
Big game, like you said, everybody's kind of had this one circled probably since last October. Wilson comes back late, beats Township, keeps the streak going. Fun numbers galore with this one. Wilson's winning streak is at 68 in a row going back to 2007. Their last Section 1 loss was at Manheim Township in October of 2007. Actually covered that game and found the story recently and went back and read it. Who knew on that rainy night in 2007 that Wilson would still be winning now all these years later? They've been amazing. Last year's game was close. Township had them on the ropes, turned the ball over a couple of times, had a field goal blocked. Wilson pulls it out late. Connor Urig on a keeper. They win it 17-10. So we picked Township back in August. They've been playing great. 4 wins in a row. Defense has been really good here lately. Held Warwick to 7 points last week. They've been playing great defensively. Wilson, that 1-2 start. Oh my gosh, the world is falling. What's going on with the Bulldogs? They've been great. They picked it up defensively. Iggy Reynoso. Closing in on 1,000 yards. He's had all kinds of fun numbers here the last couple of weeks. So collision course, we've had this one circled forever. Huge, gigantic game. Can't stress it enough. It should be fabulous. Irene Snyder and I were over at practice at Manheim Township this week. Got a chance to chat with Coach Mark Evans and with Manheim Township wideout D-back Reese Bender. Here's Irene with those interviews.
Wilson hasn't been defeated in 68 section games so far, so how do you feel right now about your team?
Again, they're the top dog, literally. Until somebody knocks them off, they've earned the right to be the top dog, and we're going to go out and take our best shot on Friday night and see what happens. I like this group of young men that we have with us, and we've treated every game like the next game on our schedule. We haven't gotten too big, too low. We stumbled a little bit early in the year, so we know what that feels like. So we'll go out and give it a best shot Friday night.
So tell me, this is a big game coming up on Friday. How do you feel at this point in your team?
I love how we're feeling right now. We got everybody confident in the game, which is great to have that attitude. No one's coming to this game thinking, hey, we're going to lose. So I think that attitude is a big part of our team.
And you were telling me earlier when we were talking off camera, like this is a game that it's a challenge, but that's exciting for you said, right?
Absolutely. I mean, getting out there and actually playing a very good team, like 10 section championships in a row, that's absolutely outstanding. So we welcome that challenge and we like it a lot.
Okay, Irene, thank you very much for those interviews. Wilson at Manheim Township on Friday night should be great. We can't wait. Another big game to talk about this week, key game in Section 2. Undefeated Manheim Central hosts Cedar Crest with just 1 loss, so a lot going on in Section 2. Tell us about Falcons at Barons.
Yeah, big game not only in Section 2, but also in the District 3 5A standings. Manheim Central number 2, Cedar Crest number 4, and the current power ratings going into Week 8, so that's going to have a big impact there. Okay, so Cedar Crest, we know they had the 5-0 start, but we also know their schedule was heavily backloaded. Oh, yeah. We saw their first loss of the season in Week 6, or excuse me, Week 6, 55-6 loss to Cocalico. They come back last week and they had a nice showing, 42-21 win over Solanco. So we'll see. They're going to get another big test like they had in Cocalico. Going to be a little bit similar in Manheim Central. I'll get to that in a second. But if they're going to get it done, Cedar Crest will have to rely on quarterback Logan Horn. He's playing almost as good as his brother did back in the day, man. Yeah. It's crazy. He's living up to those expectations, or at least filling those shoes. I have him at 927 pass yards, 442 rushing yards with 18 total touchdowns. And when he's not having the ball in his hands, it usually goes to running backs A.J. Apple and Kendall Shan. Those guys have combined so far, and along with Horn, those 3 guys have combined so far for nearly 1,200 rushing yards and 21 total touchdowns on the ground. So that's who the Falcons will have to rely on to get it done. However, you look at Manheim Central stats, they're almost near or at the top of the league in almost every category. They're 3rd in the league in total yards per game, 2nd in the league on the defensive side, just in terms of yards allowed per game. Went over the stats last night. 9 quarterbacks with 1,000 plus passing yards through Week 7. Only 1 is a sophomore, and that's the Barons QB, Evan Simon. Oh, and by the way, running back Tyler Flick. He's one of only 3 running backs in the league so far with 900 rushing yards, and one of only 2 running backs in the league with at least 13 rushing touchdowns. So it's going to be a big game there, a lot of implications. Probably a lot of running involved in this
Agreed.
game. It's going to be interesting to see how Manheim Central responds. We saw weeks 4 through 6, they came out slow in the first half before having big second half. It'll be interesting to see if they had that solved. They obviously solved that against Effort last week. It's going to be a tougher test this week. Okay, that does it for high school football. We have a big game coming up in the college football scene on Saturday night. Michigan comes into Happy Valley to take on Penn State. 7:30 start, whiteout game. To talk about that, we throw it to LNP's Mike Gross.
It's the biggest game of the year for Penn State as they host Michigan on Saturday night at 7:30 primetime national TV start. The Wolverines under Jim Harbaugh are ranked 19th in the country, coming off a loss a couple of weeks ago, but still a very serious challenge for second-ranked Penn State as they host Michigan at Beaver Stadium.
Okay, Mike, thanks for that. Can't wait. Knits, Michigan, whiteout. It should be awesome.
I'm going to be there.
You're going?
Yeah, 50-yard line.
Spectacular. Enjoy yourself. Wear white. Okay, back to the LL League. There's a lot going on here in fall sports. Tim Gross has stopped by here to talk everything LL fall sports. Everybody's in the playoffs. There's championship games going on, league playoffs, and then district playoffs start soon. So say hello to Tim Gross, who's going to talk you through everything LL fall sports.
Hello, and let's start with Lancaster Lebanon League Cross Country Championships. It was Hempfield's Christian Groff and Cocalico's Jamie Zamrin that won the boys and girls races. The Hempfield boys and Manheim Township girls wrapped up the team titles. In PIAA Regional Golf, it was Brock Fosnot of Warwick who captured the East Regional title. He'll be joined in the PIAA Championships by Manheim Township's Trey Kuntz, Jacob Manzanati, and Ellen Wagner. In district tennis, Amanda Hagino of Hempfield defeated Taylor Copan of Manheim Township to claim the AAA girls crown. The team tournament is underway. In soccer, we have a pair of Lancaster Lebanon League Championship games on Thursday. In the boys, it's E-Town versus Lancaster Mennonite. After a pair of comebacks in the semifinals, they'll be playing Thursday night at Warwick, followed by the girls game. It's going to be Manheim Township against Conestoga Valley. The field hockey finals are also set for Thursday. It's going to be Penn Manor, which defeated Donegal in a classic semifinal game. They'll be taking on Manheim Township in Thursday's championship game. And volleyball, the league quarterfinals begin on Friday. Hempfield, Elizabethtown, and Lancaster Mennonite wrapped up section crowns this week. I'm Tim Gross for LNP.
Okay, Tim, thanks for that. Great time in LL, fall sports right now, amazing, so much going on. Okay, a couple more housekeeping items here for LL football, a couple of fun notes and things to look for on the page. First up, LS coach John Mannion, 20th year for Coach Mannion, fabulous guy. He's sitting on 149 wins, so one more victory for Coach Mannion, that'll be 150. They play Cocalico this week, tough game, but one more win for Coach Mannion and he'll join the 150 win club. Tip of the cap to Coach Mannion for that. Next up, Cameron Roth, Garden Spot's outstanding senior quarterback, having an amazing season. I know the Spartans haven't had a lot of success in the win column, but he's been great. Friday night, he needs 195 passing yards for 5,000 in his career, and he needs 60 rushing yards for 2,000 in his career. So he's poised to become a 5,000, 2,000 yard kid. I've only found 2 LL kids that have ever done that. Mitch Martin, Garden Spot, and Mark Piles from Lebanon, who was the Maxwell Club Player of the Year a couple of years back for the Cedar. So uncharted territory here for Cameron Roth. Those are pretty big numbers. John caught up with the Player of the Week this week, Josiah Edwards, Penn Manor quarterback. Big game last week. Comets beat Conestoga Valley 33-17. Check Lancaster online for John's interview with Josiah Edwards. And also stay tuned later this week. John caught up with Evan Pritchard from Hempfield for the feature this week. Interesting kid, punts, plays the line, I think.
He's been through a lot.
Yeah,
It's
he's been through a lot. It's a good family story with Evans, so that'll be the feature this week. Keep an eye on that from John. Okay, last thing this week, another Glory Days. Thanks again for sending in the pictures. We appreciate it. What do we have this week for Glory Days?
Well, last week we had the Lampeter Strasburg Athletic Hall of Fame induction class. This week I'm going to go with the Garden Spot Athletic Hall of Fame induction class. These members were inducted last month, I should say, in September. They were the 25th overall induction class for Garden Spot. Those new members are Ray High, class of 1971, Leo Ward, class of 1988, Dick Dyer, class of 1960, and Nadine Uninger, class of 2008. She was the standout in field hockey and soccer. Special thanks to Garden Spot Athletic Director Ed Yapsuga for sending those in, and congratulations to those members. And again, guys, we're always looking for Glory Days submissions. So if you have anything interesting from a year ago, 50 years ago, whatever, crack open a scrapbook, get the picture to us, sports@lnpnews.com with the name, the team, the year, any other interesting information we'll feature right here in the Glory Days segment. Okay, week 8 coming up, busy week, fall sports, football, Penn State. It's going to be exciting.
Yes.
For Jeff Reinhart, I'm John Walk. Thanks to you guys for watching. We'll catch you next week.